The federal government has disclosed that 13 of the 50 oil and gas blocks offered under the 2025 licensing round will be returned to the licensing basket after failing to attract bids. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, new UK Prime Minister Andy Burnham announced a tax cut to ease cost of living pressures as he was set to convene his first cabinet meeting on Tuesday, after a day earlier replacing Keir Starmer in Downing Street and purging the government of his predecessor's loyalists. The 56-year-old on Tuesday morning said he was cutting value-added tax on consumer electricity bills. The new business minister, Jonathan Reynolds, told Sky News this was a tremendous announcement for the first day of the new cabinet, which was due to meet Tuesday afternoon. The measure cuts the 5% tax from October and will trim about £45 a year off, and will be initially funded by cancelling a plan to introduce digital IDs. At number 9, Marine Handball Club continued their impressive run at the 2026 Invitational Handball Championship with a commanding 21-12 victory over the defendants in the men's category of the competition of the National Institute for Sport Gymnasium in Surulere, Lagos. Marine stamped their authority on the contest from the opening whistle, taking an 11-6 lead into halftime before completing a dominant 9-goal victory to maintain their unbeaten record in Group A and strengthen their credentials as one of the favorites for the title. At number 8, the Ogun State Council of Ballers and a group of retirees in the state have endorsed the governorship aspiration of the All Progressives Congress candidate, Senator Solomon Adiola, popularly known as Yayi. The Ballers and the retirees under the aegis of the Yayi Retirees Network announced their endorsements during separate strategic consultative meetings held with the governorship candidate in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, on Monday. According to a statement issued on Tuesday, the group said their decision was based on their assessment of Adiola's performance over the years and their belief that he is best positioned to drive the development of Ogun State. At number 7, the Ekiti State Police Command has arrested 3 suspects over alleged motorcycle theft and recovered 7 suspected stolen motorcycles in separate operations across the state. The suspects are Mustafa Lekon, 38, from Osun State, who was arrested for allegedly stealing motorcycles, and Blessing Adebi and Ogunbayo Adebi, who were apprehended for allegedly receiving stolen motorcycles. The police public relations officer, Sunday Abutu, disclosed this in a statement made available in Ekiti on Tuesday. He said the suspects were arrested in Ekiti, Ido Ekiti, and Ilogbo Ekiti on Saturday. At number 6, President Bola Tinubu has approved the establishment of a new army battalion in Kwara State as part of efforts to strengthen security and intensify the fight against banditry, terrorism, and other violent crimes in the state. The battalion, which will be located in Omu-Oron, headquarters of Irekpodun local government area, is expected to increase the deployment of troops and military hardware to enhance security operations, especially in communities affected by rising cases of kidnappings and bandit attacks. Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak disclosed this in a statement issued on Tuesday by his Deputy Chief Press Secretary, Mashood Agbola. He said the approval was another demonstration of the federal government's commitment to addressing security challenges in the state. At number 5, the Debt Management Office recorded total subscriptions of 1.74 trillion naira at its July 2026 federal government bond auction, with investors oversubscribing the 1.2 trillion naira offered across 3 reopened bond instruments. Results released by the DMO on Tuesday showed strong demand for the 3 federal government bonds, with subscriptions exceeding the amount offered by about 538.66 billion naira. Federal government bonds are long-term debt instruments issued by the DMO on behalf of the federal government to finance budget deficits and infrastructure development while providing investors with fixed income investment opportunities. The monthly bond auctions are closely watched by investors as indicators of liquidity in the financial market, investor confidence, and prevailing interest rate expectations. At number 4, the Central Bank of Nigeria said it opened 2 accounts for the disputed Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, but noted that they never recorded inflows of remittances. This is according to the Director of Banking Services at the CBN, Abdullahi Hamisu, who spoke during the House of Representatives and Hawk Committee probe of the PFIPC scandal. According to him, the Apex Bank received instructions from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federal Federation, mandating the CBN to open 2 accounts for the disputed agency. At number 3, 2 persons have died following a road traffic crash at Leme along the Abeokuta Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State. The Ogun State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps attributed the crash to a speed violation. The public relations officer of the command, Afolabi Odunsi, confirmed this in a statement in Abeokuta that underscores the persistent danger of excessive speed on Nigerian roads. Odunsi said that the Federal Road Safety Corps rescue personnel evacuated the victims and deposited the deceased at the state hospital Yayi mortuary in the state's capital. At number 2, Governor Hope Uzodinma has approved 25 billion naira for the building of new quarters for judges as part of efforts to provide a conducive environment for them to operate in the state. The quarters will consist of 40 standard duplexes, complete with recreational facilities. The Commissioner for Information, Public Orientation and Strategy, Declan Emelomba, disclosed these at the end of Monday's State Executive Council presided over by the governor. He said that apart from the judges' quarters, the council also approved 1.9 billion naira for the establishment of 4 computer-based test centers in the Orlu zone to enhance access to JAMB candidates. Emelomba said that 900 million naira would be released immediately to commence work at pilot centers in Bishop Shahanahan Secondary School and Community Secondary School, Omuma. At number 1, the federal government has disclosed that 13 of the 50 oil and gas blocks offered under the 2025 licensing round will be returned to the licensing basket after failing to attract bids. The chief executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Orishemeyiwa Eyeson, disclosed these on Tuesday at the 2025 Commercial Bid Conference in Abuja. Eyeson said while 50 blocks were initially put up for bid, only 37 received representations from prospective investors. According to her, almost 300 companies initially expressed interest in the licensing round, reflecting renewed investor confidence in Nigeria's upstream petroleum sector. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.